Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call the July 25th, 2024 meeting of the Planning Commission to order, and if you could please call roll.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Carter.
Here.
Commissioner Cisco.
Here.
Commissioner Pardo.
Here.
Commissioner Peterson.
Here.
Commissioner Sanders.
Here.
Vice Chair Duggan.
Here.
And Chair Weeks.
Here.
Let the record reflect that all commissioners are present tonight.
Thank you. So with that, we will, I would like to welcome our newest Planning Commissioner, Erin Pardo, who was sworn in right before this meeting. And if you'd like to say a few words, you don't have to, but if you want to, here's your chance.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank my family and my friends and my partner that was here to support me. I want to thank you guys for always supporting me, and I want to thank Jessica Jones and Karen and everyone, all the commissioners, for allowing me to be a commissioner with you guys, and I'm really excited, so thank you.
Thank you. So with that, we'll move on to approval of minutes. We have one set of minutes from June 27th. Are there any changes to the minutes? Okay, seeing none. They will be approved as submitted. If you are in the chamber and want to make comments on the minutes, please make your way to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes. Seeing no one rise, I will close that and bring it back to item number 4, public comment on non-agenda items. We're now taking public comments on item 4, non-agenda matters. This is a time for anyone to speak on items not listed on the agenda, but which are within the subject matter jurisdiction of this committee. Seeing no one rise, I will go ahead and close the public comment portion and bring it back to the commission. The Planning Commission is charged with carrying out the California planning and zoning laws in the city of Santa Rosa. Duties include implementing of plans, ordinances, and policies relating to land use matters, assisting in writing and implementing the general plan and area plan, holding public hearings, and acting on proposed changes to the zoning code, zoning map, general plan, tentative subdivision maps, and undertaking special planning studies as needed. So, we'll move on to 5.2. Are there any commissioner reports? Commissioner Sanders? No. Oh, any commissioner reports? Okay. So with that, we will close this and open the public comment portion on this item. If you're in the chamber and want to make public comment, please go to the podium. Seeing no one rise, I will close that. And then we introduced our new member, and so we will go to item 6, department report.
Thank you, Chair Weeks, members of the Commission. Jessica Jones, Deputy Director of Planning. First, I would also like to welcome our new Commissioner Pardo. We're very excited to have you on this commission and look forward to working with you, hopefully for a good amount of time. And we're all here for you if you have any questions, help you as you orient into this new process. So welcome. The other item I just wanted to brief the commission on, in case anybody had not heard, we had an interesting Cultural Heritage Board meeting last week. We had a number of members of our Cultural Heritage Board resign verbally during the meeting. The meeting had to be closed because we lost a quorum. Following that meeting, 4 members of our CHB resigned in writing, so we currently do not have a quorum of our CHB. The purpose of their resignation revolved around concerns related to increases in permitting fees for our landmark alteration permits. The City Council recently adopted a new fee schedule for our planning, building, and engineering permits, and it did include an increase in landmark alteration permits, which have historically been subsidized. Due to the concern of the cost of that, the members felt that they didn't want to continue on with the board. So we are currently working on addressing how to move forward with that. We are also continuing work on looking at amending our process, which we were already starting to work on, to help streamline the landmark alteration process, to make it easier for both property owners as well as staff to move through that landmark alteration process and continue the important work of honoring our culture and the preservation districts here in Santa Rosa. So we'll have more information as things proceed, but just wanted to give a quick update to the commission on that.
Thank you. If there's anybody in the audience who'd like to make comments on department report, please make your way to the podium. Seeing no one, we will close that. And then we'll move on to statement of abstentions. Commissioner Pardo?
I just wanted to point out, just to be transparent with the public, since it is my first meeting, that one of the homeowners on that will be benefiting from this project, I did sell them a commercial building 2 years ago. So I just wanted to point out that I have no financial benefit or the perception of a benefit from this client. So I just wanted to point that out and have that on the record.
Thank you. We have no presentations, no consent items, no report items. We have one scheduled item, a public hearing. This is an ex parte item. It's public hearing, Robin Way Water System Improvements, Annexation Pre-Zoning 164 Bellevue Avenue, ANX 23-002. And as I said, this is an ex parte item. So Commissioner Sanders?
I visited the site and have nothing to report.
Thank you. Commissioner Carter?
I have nothing to disclose at this time.
Thank you. Commissioner Peterson?
I have nothing to disclose.
Vice Chair Duggan?
I have nothing to disclose.
Commissioner Cisco?
I have nothing to disclose.
Commissioner Pardo?
I did not visit a site and I have nothing to disclose, besides what I disclosed already.
Thank you. And I visited the site and have nothing further to disclose. So with that, Ms. Shakali will do the presentation.
Thank you, Chair Weeks, and good evening, commissioners, and welcome, Commissioner Prado. The project before you is a pre-zoning of 34 parcels, which will be annexed into the city. 29 of these parcels will receive water, and 5 of them will be just annexed. The image below shows the border of the area that is requested to be pre-zoned. So about the area that will receive water, here in this image you can see 5 parcels are shown in blue. These 5 parcels have nitrate contamination, which is verified by the State Division of Drinking Water. The remaining parcels located within this area are suspected of being contaminated and will be connected to the water, city water. And the area that will be connected to the city water here is shown in the yellow border. The 5 parcels on the east side of the Moreland Avenue, they will only be pre-zoned to be annexed into the city. At this time, they will not receive any city water system. And about the history of this project, in 2019, the Division of Drinking Water issued a citation letter to the Robin Way system for nitrate maximum contamination level violation. In 2020, the Water Board initiated Prop 1, which is a grant program for disadvantaged communities to improve their water system. This program funds the planning portion of the project today before you, and it is anticipated that the Water Board will also issue the construction funding after the project gets annexed into the city. And in May of 2021, a decision was made by LAFCO and the city and the state to annex 29 parcels on the west side of Moreland Avenue into the city. And in 2023, last year, City and LAFCO also had a discussion to bring 5 other parcels into the city to create an orderly boundary for the annexation area. December of last year, the pre-zoning application was submitted, and in January, City sends a notice to neighbors, both in English and Spanish, and today project was also notified in both English and Spanish. And about the rezoning and the proposed pre-zones. So the properties that are showing with the, I should say, brighter yellow, they will be pre-zoned to R2, is a multifamily residential zone, which is consistent with the general plan land use designation for medium low density residential. All these properties in this area are currently developed with multifamily residential housings. The properties on the east side, 5 parcels, they will be pre-zoned to R16, which is single-family residential, consistent with the general plan land use designation of low-density residential. These properties also currently developed with residential and some accessory structures. And this project has been also reviewed in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act, 3 exemptions for this project, consistency with the general plan, and consistent of limited number of new small structures and some minor land alterations. Since the project was notified in January, staff received only 1 phone call asking about water fees for residents with low income, and that call was referred to our water department to get answer about the water fees. And with that, it is recommended by the Planning and Economic Development Department that the Planning Commission, by resolution, recommend that the City Council pre-zone the properties situated on Barbara Drive, Robin Way, Eddy Drive, Moreland Avenue, and Bellevue Avenue to the R16 and R2 zoning districts consistent with the low and medium low density residential general plan land use designation. That was my presentation. We have Andy Allen from the Water Department here. We have Justin Witt from Brelgy and Race, the consultant who's working on this project. And then also on Zoom, we have Aparajit Rengi. He is from the State Water Board Department, Division of Financial Assistant, Technical Assistant Unit. So if a question from the state raises, he's available on Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions of staff or the consultants? Commissioner Cisco?
Just a couple. Do we know if any emergency hookups have been done? I mean, this is a long time for people to wait with contaminated water.
Good afternoon. You want me on this one? It's been a while. Good afternoon. Andy Allen, Supervising Engineer, Santa Rosa Water. At this point, I do not believe there have been any emergency hookups at this location. On some other projects, similar projects there have been, but at this point, not.
Okay, great. And then just a clarifying one, I'm assuming we don't have any concerns about LAFCO not agreeing to this, given it's a small portion that's being annexed since they're kind of already on board?
Yes, it was discussed with LAFCO, and LAFCO has already reviewed all the staff report and the proposal, and they had no comments. It was their plan to get also 5 parcels to be included.
Okay. And then last, this is actually a future-related question as to the South Santa Rosa specific plan. I looked at that map, which isn't that easy to read online, of the proposed area, and these parcels are within that. So these will be annexed and pre-zoned, whereas the other part of the planning area has no plan for annexation. And will this remain included in the specific plan process, or will that be taken out? And if it is included, is there a chance that they could be rezoned further?
Excellent question, and noted about the map. We will do our best. It's a very large area. It's the largest specific plan that we have here in Santa Rosa. So putting a map that is readable on the web is difficult, but we'll work on it.
We could have added a few more streets. I had to get out my own map and do the whole thing, so.
Yes,
yeah.
so we will work on that and hopefully send a link with a better map. So to answer your question, yes, so this area will remain within the specific plan boundaries. And as you stated, and I know it's a little confusing for some, the project does not include annexation at this time, different than the Roseland project where we had annexation as part of the specific plan. This specific plan is just that. It does not include annexation. So this property is in the boundaries, will remain in the boundaries. As far as potential changes, we will determine that through the process, what the vision is. Generally speaking, with projects like this, if we have a developed residential neighborhood like this is, we don't generally change the land use in those areas. We're really looking for underdeveloped or vacant lands where we're really looking at doing thoughts of potential changes to land use and future redevelopment. So I would say it's unlikely, but if there is a change, that's something that we would do community outreach to those property owners to talk to them about.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Commissioner Sanders?
I just have one, just for curiosity. What happens to the water that's contaminated once we hook up to the city? Where does that water go? Does it stay there? And I noticed that it says that the adjoining parcels are at risk of having contaminated water, so it won't be an issue they'll be all city water. But then what happens to that water? Does it seep into other areas, into other parcels? Will that mess with future development in the area?
So the contaminated water we speak of is groundwater, and it is brought to the surface with wells and goes into each of these, all of the homes in this area, or at least we know of many, and that's why the state got involved. There's local water companies, which is the Robin Way Water Company is one of those in this area, and they have to test their well regularly, and the state gets that result. The state said, oop, you're high in these contaminants, so we want to put you into this program to consolidate that water company with the city. In essence, the wells go away or are only used for irrigation purposes. So there is no water, there is small water systems that encompass maybe 5 parcels, each with a triplexer on it, and then that's that water company. That water company ultimately goes away, and they get served by city water in perpetuity.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, so with that, I will go ahead and open the public hearing on this item. If you're in the chambers and wish to make a comment, please go to the podium. You will have 3 minutes. Seeing no one rise, I will close the public hearing on this item and bring it back to the commission. Any final questions of the commissioners? Okay, so with that, if someone would like to make a motion of the resolution, Commissioner Cisco.
I move a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Santa Rosa recommending to City Council pre-zoning of the properties situated on Barbara Drive, Robin Way, Eddy Drive, Moreland Avenue, and Bellevue Avenue into the R16 single-family residential and R2 medium-density multifamily residential zoning district, consistent with the low and medium-low density residential general plan land use designations, file number ANX 23-003, and waive further reading of the text.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. So that was moved by Commissioner Cisco, seconded by Vice Chair Duggan, and we'll go ahead and start with Commissioner Sanders for comments.
Yeah, I don't really have any comments, so I will support the the hookup of the water.
And you can make the required
I can make all the required findings to do so.
Commissioner Carter.
Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. Looks like a situation where the city and the state came together to do the right thing, and I can make all of the necessary findings and will support the project.
Thank you. Commissioner Peterson.
I can also make all the required findings and will vote in favor of this project.
Thank you. Vice Chair Duggan.
I can make all the required findings and am in favor of the project.
Thank you. Commissioner Cisco.
I also can make all the required findings and in favor of the project, excuse me.
Commissioner Pardo.
I'm in favor with the project, and I hope that every single property gets annexed into the city and gets clean water for every resident, and I can make all the required findings.
Thank you. And I also am in favor of the project and can make all the required findings. So with that, if we could have a vote.
Thank you, Chair Weeks. Commissioner Carter.
Aye.
Commissioner Cisco.
Aye.
Commissioner Pardo.
Aye.
Commissioner Peterson.
Aye.
Commissioner Sanders.
Aye.
Vice Chair Duggan.
Aye.
And Chair Weeks.
Aye. So that passes with 7 ayes. And I would like to note that this action is final unless an appeal is filed with the city clerk's office within 10 calendar days of today's decision pursuant to zoning code section 20-62.030. And with
Excuse me,
that,
Chair Weeks, sorry. As this is just a recommendation to the city council, this would not be an appealable item.
Oh.
Just to clarify, you're making a recommendation that the city council move forward with the pre-zoning. So
okay,
we don't need
so I
to.
didn't need that.
No,
Okay.
not today, but
Okay.
you are so prepared. Thank you.
I know. Scratch what I just said.
Okay.
So with that, we will go ahead and adjourn the meeting. And once again, welcome Commissioner Pardo.
Thank you.
And I'm going to use the gavel.